At the end of this video, you should be able to know the reason why sine 30 degree is equal to cos 60 degree, or the reason why sine 45 degree is equal to cos 45 degree without cramming, and also sine 60 degree, how is it cos 30 degree. Let us start by explaining the concept. Recall, in trigonometry we are dealing with triangle, and we are studying the relationship between the angles and the sides of triangle. So in our previous video we've explained some concepts already. Now, how are we now going to start this? Don't forget, the sum of angle in a triangle, the sum of angle in a triangle is 180 degree. The sum of angle in a triangle is 180 degree. What do I mean? Let us call this alpha, let us call this beta. So this is already 90 degree right angle. So that means we have alpha plus beta plus 90 degree to be equal to 180 degree. That means I can write beta as 180 degree minus 90 degree minus beta minus alpha minus alpha. So I can rewrite beta as this. Now, by doing this, we have 180 degree minus 90 is 90 degree minus alpha. Good. That means we are good to go now. So I can now redraw this right angle to be this. I can redraw it to be this. So this is, let us call it theta now. If I call it theta, let us call it theta. So if I call it theta now, that means this place will be 90 minus theta, according to what we do. So if this is alpha, this will become 90 minus alpha, and if this is theta, this will become 90 minus theta. So don't forget this is 90 degree. So let's call this z, let us call this y, and let us call this z. Don't forget, any angle we are considering, wherever the angle is facing, let's say we are considering this angle, that means this place is, if you are considering this angle, this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. Now, according to what we have been saying, since we say we have SOHCAHTOA whenever you are dealing with trigonometry, don't forget this SOHCAHTOA. Now, what is sin theta from what we have here? Sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine is opposite is y, so we have y over z. Also, what is cos theta? Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse, and the adjacent is given as x over z. And also, what is tan theta as well? Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. So moving on, from sin theta, I said we can get cosec theta, which is, that is 1 over sin theta. and that's z over y. And also we can get cos theta, we can get sec theta. Sec theta is 1 over cos, which is z over y, which is z over x. And the last one is cos theta, which is 1 over cot, and that is x over y. Now you can see that when we add theta, from theta we're able to have all this. Now what about when we now treat this place? What about when I use this angle now? If I'm using this angle now, this place will be my opposite, this place will be my adjacent, and this remains the hypotenuse. That is, if the angle I'm considering now is 90 minus theta. If the angle I'm considering now is 90 minus theta, this is what we are going to have. Now, from here now, we have, let's go again. We have sine theta to be equal to, now the sine theta now will now be x. The opposite will now be x now. So the opposite for, it's not theta, it is sine 90 minus theta. Yes, good. Sine 90 minus theta now. The opposite is now x. The hypotenuse remains the same. The hypotenuse remains the same. Also, the cos theta as well. The cos 90 minus theta. Why am I making this mistake? The cos 90 minus theta as well is adjacent over hypotenuse. That is y over z. Moving on, tan as well. Tan 90 minus theta is, tan is opposite over adjacent. This is our opposite, that is x over y. And then cosec 90 minus theta. Cosec 90 minus theta is the same thing as, cosec is 1 over sine theta. That means we are going to have z over x. And also sec 90 minus theta is z over y. And lastly, cot 90 minus theta is the same thing as y over x. Now you can see some similarities here. Now you will notice that, what do we have here? We have x over z here, and here as well we have x over z. So we can bring out the first thing that we notice. So let me come down here. So that means sine 90 minus theta is same thing as cos theta. Sine, so the first thing we are having is sine 90 minus theta is the same thing as cos theta. You can see now, you don't need to cram it. Once you know where it is coming from, you easily recall when you are trying to remember it. Also, what do we notice as well? This is y over z. Y over z. Let me use another column. Y over z. This is y over z. Yeah, we have y over z here as well. That means cos 90 minus theta is same thing as sine theta. So the second one we have here is cos 90 minus theta. Cos 90 minus theta is the same thing as sine theta. And the third one we are having here is, so we have x over y. X over y And where do we have x over y? So we have x over y here as well. We have x over y here as well. That means tan 90 minus theta is same thing as cot theta. That means tan 90 minus theta is the same thing as cot theta. You can see now. So from here now, we can say if theta is 30 now, we are going to have 30 as well. That means we can say that sine 60 degree is equal to cos 30 degree. Also, let me put, if I put 60 here as well, that means I can say 90 minus 60 is 30. Sine 30 degree is the same thing as cos 60 degree. And for tan as well, for tan, we can say tan 90 minus, let's put 30 here, tan 60 degree is same thing as, that means 30 will be here, cot 30 degree. You can see now, without cramming, you've been able to know where all these are coming from. You've been able to know where all these are coming from. Now, the next thing we are now going to check is, what if we are having 90 plus theta? Are we still going to have the same thing? What do I mean? This is what I mean. I say, what we have sine 90 plus theta, are we still going to have the same thing? What if we have cos 90 plus theta, are we still going to have the same thing? What about tan 90 plus theta, are we still going to have the same thing? Now, how are we going to undo this? This is very simple to undo, and I want you to follow me. Now, remember the quadrants. Don't forget the quadrants. It is very important. You have 0 degree here, 90 degree here, and you have 180 degree here, also 270 degree and 360 degree as well. Now, 90, if you say 90 minus theta is always here. This is 90 degree minus theta is always here. Now, if we now say we have 90 plus theta, what are we expecting? 90. If this is 90, that means 90 plus theta will be around here. 90 plus theta will be around here. And here, this is second quadrant. Don't forget what we have already done in the previous videos. We said all students take Coke. That is here. We have sine to be positive here. Sin theta is positive here. And sin theta is positive here. Cos theta is negative here. And then tan theta is negative here. That means whatever you are doing anything related to 90 plus theta for sine, this is sine 90 plus theta. And don't forget, the theta is an acute angle. We are not expecting the theta to go beyond 90 degrees. So you can 90 plus 60, 90 plus 80, 90 plus 89. So it must not go beyond 90 degree. It must not go beyond 90 degree. So now, 90 plus theta now is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. This is second quadrant. So this is 90 plus theta, second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, we have sin theta to be positive. That means according to what we have up here, we are still going to maintain the cos theta. We are still going to maintain the cos theta. So let me clean what we have here. Let me clean what we have here. So that means this remains cos theta. Now, for cos, in the second quadrant, cos theta is negative. In the second quadrant, cos theta is negative. That means what we are going to have is a negative answer. So we are going to have minus sine theta. Very simple. Now, for the tan as well, for tan 90 plus theta, in the second quadrant, tan is negative. So here we are going to have cot theta. Now, this is when we are dealing with 90 minus theta and 90 plus theta. Now, let us now treat the quadrants in a general case. You can see that this video is very, very useful because these kind of questions JAMB can ask you. Now, let us treat this thing in the general sense. Now, don't forget, when we are dealing with angles in our quadrants, in the first quadrant, we always write theta. In the second quadrant, we write 180 minus theta. In the third quadrant, we write theta minus 180 degree. In the fourth quadrant, we write 180, we add 360 degree minus theta. You can see now, this is the first quadrant, the first quadrant, the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. Now, and don't forget, all students take Coke. All students take Coke. And don't forget, sine theta is negative, is positive, cos theta is positive, and tan theta is positive as well. Now, here as well, sine theta is positive, cos theta is negative, and tan theta is negative. Here as well, third quadrant, we have sine theta negative, cos theta negative, and tan theta positive. And in the fourth quadrant, we have sine theta negative, cos theta negative, cos theta positive, and tan theta to be negative. Now, from here, we can now discuss what will happen now. Now, you are done with the first quadrant. Now, what is now sine 180 degree minus theta? What is it equal to? The question is, which quadrant are we? We are in the second quadrant. Now, if you are dealing with 180 and above, in this situation now, we are not going back to what we had already, that is sine, when we are dealing with 90 minus theta and 90 plus theta. Now, we want the sine theta to produce sine theta back. That is, we want our angle to be in an acute angle. We want to go back to the acute angle. And what is an acute angle? It's an angle that is less than 90 degree. So what are we going to do now? The question is, so we want to find sine 180 minus theta cos 180 minus theta. cos 180 degree minus theta, and tan, you also want to find tan 180 degree minus theta as well. Now, how are we now going to find this? Very simple. Now, just go back to your quadrants. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. That means this remains sine theta. Good. Now, for the cos, in the second quadrant, we have 180 minus theta. In the second quadrant, cos is negative. So we have minus cos theta. You can see now. You want the cos theta to go back to cos theta and sin theta. Well, when they are going back, is there anything that will happen to their sign? This will depend on which quadrant they fall into. For tan as well, I think you should be able to answer that. What is that? It is negative in the second quadrant. So we have minus tan theta. That is it. Now, let us move on. Let's go to the third quadrant. For the third quadrant, what are we expecting? For the third quadrant, we have theta minus 180 degree. Theta minus 180 degree. And in the third quadrant, you should be able to answer that. I want to fill this thing. Pause the video and fill it. Pause the video and fill this thing. Now, in the third quadrant, we have sine to be negative. That means we are going to have minus sine theta. Cos is negative, minus cos theta, and tan is positive in the third quadrant. We have tan theta. Now, let me write the fourth quadrant here. So what about sine 360 degree minus theta? Sine 360 degree minus theta is in which quadrant? Is in fourth quadrant. Is in fourth quadrant. Sine 360 minus theta is in fourth quadrant. Is in fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, what is in the fourth quadrant, sine is negative. Sine is negative, so we have minus sine theta. Cos is positive, we have cos theta, and then tan is negative, we have minus tan theta. You can see now. So if you are asked to find sine 180 minus theta, you don't need to think or waste your time. So just go to which quadrant it falls into. Which quadrant? Second quadrant. Also, so lastly, I want you to find this one. So you find it and give your answer in the comment section. What about when we are now given sine 180 plus theta? What is that going to give? What about cos 180 plus theta and also tan 180 plus theta? You mention the quadrants and you also give the answer. So what about sine 360 plus theta as well? Also cos 360 plus theta as well, and also tan 360 plus theta. So watch out for our next video. The next video will be on negative angles. How are we going to? So for instance, we are given sine minus 700. How are you going to do that? You are given cos minus 1000. How are you going to? Or even if you are given cos 300, how are you going to put that in the lowest form, that is in the acute angle form? Thank you. Please subscribe, like the video, and also comment as well and share with others. Thank you.